Keep your mouth completely shut, don't scroll, listen to this. This message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because there is a reason you were guided here at this exact moment, and it's not random, it's not coincidence, it's alignment, and the universe is asking you, gently but firmly, to guard your words, guard your plans, guard your next move, because something sacred is unfolding behind the scenes and it requires silence to grow, like a seed beneath the soil that cannot be rushed or exposed too early without risk. Don't scroll, stay with me, because what you're about to hear is not meant for everyone. It's meant for the one who's been feeling a shift lately, the one whose energy has changed, whose intuition has been louder than usual, whose spirit feels like it's standing at the edge of a breakthrough. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. There are eyes on you that you didn't invite, conversations about you that you weren't meant to hear, and energies around you that feed on information, not because you did anything wrong, but because your light has increased, your presence has become noticeable, and when that happens, silence becomes protection, not punishment. Don't scroll, because this isn't about fear. It's about wisdom, the kind of wisdom that knows when to speak and when to hold power quietly in your chest. Listen to this, the universe is asking you to move differently right now, to let your actions speak while your mouth stays closed, because what's coming toward you, love, opportunity, reconciliation, recognition, needs space to align without interference. Your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling the urge to explain yourself, to defend your choices, to share your plans just to feel understood. Resist that urge, because not everyone deserves access to your becoming. Don't scroll, this message is for you. There is a soulmate connection shifting in the unseen, a heart tied to yours that's waking up, realizing, remembering. And the more you stay quiet, the clearer the signal becomes, because silence amplifies truth. Listen to this, the signs you've been seeing, 111, 222, 444, are not asking you to speak, they're asking you to trust. They're reminders that timing is being handled by something greater than you, something that doesn't need your explanation. Your heart needs this right now, because you've been misunderstood before, you've been judged before, you've been hurt after opening up too soon, and this time, the lesson is different. This time, the protection comes from restraint. Don't scroll. There are people who smile at you but don't want to see you win, and there are people who listen closely not to support you, but to measure you, and that's why the universe is saying, keep your mouth completely shut. Not forever, just for now, just long enough for the alignment to lock in. Listen to this, when you stop talking, the noise clears. When you stop explaining, the truth reveals itself. When you stop announcing, the universe works faster. Your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling tired of repeating yourself, tired of justifying your growth, tired of carrying conversations that drain you. Don't scroll. Your silence is not weakness, it's strategy, it's spiritual intelligence, it's you stepping into a higher frequency where not everything needs commentary. Listen to this, something is being rearranged in your favor, and it requires confidentiality, like a blessing that arrives best when it's unexpected. Your heart needs this right now, because the temptation to talk could delay what's meant to arrive effortlessly, and the universe doesn't want that for you. It wants ease, it wants flow, it wants surprise. Don't scroll. There is a reason certain conversations have stalled, a reason messages haven't been sent yet, a reason responses feel delayed, and that reason is preparation, not rejection. Listen to this. The people who need to know will know when the time is right, and the ones who don't will reveal themselves through your silence. Your heart needs this right now, because you're entering a phase where discernment matters more than validation, where inner peace matters more than being right, where alignment matters more than being heard. Don't scroll. The universe is teaching you that not every thought needs to leave your mouth, not every feeling needs an audience, not every plan needs witnesses. Listen to this. Your energy has been speaking louder than your words anyway, and the right people are already listening. Your heart needs this right now, especially if you felt the pull to retreat slightly, to protect your space, to observe more and react less. That's not withdrawal, that's wisdom. Don't scroll. There is a karmic balance being restored, and silence keeps you out of unnecessary entanglements. Listen to this. When you say less, you see more. When you pause, you perceive intention. When you stay quiet, the universe moves pieces on your behalf without resistance. Your heart needs this right now, because something big is being finalized, something that will make sense only after it arrives, and until then, your role is simple. Stay grounded, stay observant, stay silent, don't scroll. The spiritual awakening you're in is teaching you mastery over impulse, mastery over emotion, mastery over reaction, and silence is the final exam. Listen to this, pass it, and what comes next will feel like relief, like confirmation, like destiny clicking into place. Your heart needs this right now, because you don't need to convince anyone of who you are becoming. The results will speak for you. Don't scroll. This message is for you. Hold your tongue, guard your energy, trust the signs, and let the universe finish what it started, because what's coming doesn't need an announcement. It needs your faith, your patience, and your silence. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because the energy around you right now is shifting in a way that can't be explained by logic alone, and this message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling that quiet pressure to stay silent, to observe, to protect what's unfolding before it fully arrives, because there is something sacred forming in the unseen. And the universe has been asking you to keep your mouth completely shut, not as punishment, not as fear, but as preparation. And listen to this carefully, because when God tells someone to be quiet, it's often because something powerful is moving behind the scenes that cannot survive noise, distraction, or premature exposure. And your silence right now is not weakness, it's wisdom, it's alignment, it's spiritual intelligence activating at the exact moment it's needed most. And don't scroll, because there are people watching you more closely than you realize, not in a dark way, but in a revealing way. Noticing how you move, how you've stopped explaining yourself, how you've withdrawn your energy from places that no longer feel safe or nourishing, and that shift has triggered reactions you can't see yet. And listen to this, your silence has already spoken louder than any explanation ever could. It has stirred emotions in others, awakened curiosity, regret, admiration, and even a little fear, because when someone stops talking, stops justifying, stops proving, the universe starts responding differently. And this message is for you because you're in a season where every word matters, where what you don't say is more powerful than what you could shout, and your heart needs this right now, because there is a soulmate level connection being rearranged, recalibrated, realigned in divine timing, and the angels are asking you to hold your peace while they handle the details. And listen, if you've been seeing repeating numbers like 1111 when you're quiet at night, or 222 when you choose not to respond, or 444 when you resist the urge to explain yourself, those aren't coincidences. Those are confirmations that your restraint is protection, that your silence is sheltering something precious. And don't scroll, because the reason this feels uncomfortable is because you're breaking an old pattern. You used to overgive, over-explain, overshare, and now you're being taught the power of containment, the power of letting things mature in secret. And this message is for you because there is someone connected to your destiny who is being tested right now, tested by your absence of words, tested by your refusal to chase, tested by the calm strength you're embodying, and your heart needs this right now because what feels like distance is actually magnetism, what feels like silence is actually communication on a soul level. And listen to this, there are conversations happening about you in rooms you're not in. And your quiet has changed the tone of those conversations, because people expected a reaction, expected noise, expected you to defend yourself, and when it didn't come, it forced truth to rise. And don't scroll, because this is where spiritual awakening deepens, this is where you stop reacting and start receiving, and the universe is clearing distractions so the right person, the right opportunity, the right message can arrive cleanly, without interference, and your heart needs this right now. Because the soulmate tied to your future is learning something through your silence, learning respect, learning value, learning that access to you is sacred, not automatic. And listen, if you felt an urge to journal instead of talk, to pray instead of explain, to breathe instead of respond, that's divine guidance, not withdrawal. And don't scroll, because there's a reason your energy feels quieter but stronger, steadier but deeper. It's because you're stepping into alignment with a version of yourself that no longer needs validation from outside sources. And this message is for you, because the universe is rearranging timelines, and silence is the doorway through which miracles slip in unnoticed, and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been tempted to break the quiet just to feel relief, because relief will come, but it will come through trust, not words. And listen to this. There are angels assigned to this season of your life whose job is to guard what's forming until it's ready to be revealed, and every time you stay quiet, every time you choose peace over reaction, you're working with them, not against them. And don't scroll, because someone from your past is feeling the weight of your silence more than you know, replaying moments, rethinking decisions, realizing too late what your presence actually meant. And this message is for you because you're being protected from reopening doors that were meant to close so better ones could open, and your heart needs this right now. Because the love meant for you requires space to arrive without contamination from old energy. And listen, if you've been feeling emotionally lighter but mentally sharper, calmer but more aware, that's a sign you're integrating a higher level of discernment, and the universe is saying keep going, keep quiet, keep trusting, and don't scroll, because the moment you feel most tempted to speak is often the moment when silence is doing the most work, shifting hearts, aligning paths, correcting misunderstandings without a single word. And this message is for you because what's coming next will arrive suddenly, unexpectedly, like a message, an invitation, a confession, a breakthrough that makes you realize why you had to stay silent first. And your heart needs this right now, because the reward for restraint is clarity, and clarity is coming. And listen to this, the soulmate connection you've been sensing isn't delayed, it's deepening, it's being purified of fear, ego, and miscommunication, and your silence is the catalyst, not the obstacle. And don't scroll, because the universe is about to show you how powerful you are when you don't give everyone access to your inner world. And this message is for you because you're learning that not everyone deserves your explanation, but everyone will feel your boundaries, and your heart needs this right now as a reminder that staying quiet doesn't mean you're losing, it means you're listening, it means you're aligning, it means you're allowing divine timing to do what it does best. And listen, the next sign you see, the next angel number, the next calm knowing in your chest, let it remind you that silence is not emptiness, it's incubation, and something beautiful is almost ready to be born. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, and there is a reason your spirit keeps pausing, breathing a little deeper, sensing that something important is unfolding in the quiet, because the instruction to keep your mouth completely shut was not about fear or suppression, it was about protection, alignment, and divine timing. And the universe wants you to understand that silence is currently your strongest spiritual weapon. Listen to this. Because while you've been holding back, observing, and choosing peace over reaction, unseen forces have been working in your favor, moving pieces you could not have moved yourself, and the reason this season feels intense, heavy, and strangely calm at the same time is because you are standing in the middle of a spiritual shift that requires restraint, discernment, and trust. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now. Because not everything meant for you requires explanation, not every blessing needs to be announced, and not every move needs an audience, and the moment you chose silence over impulse, you stepped into a higher level of spiritual authority, one where your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. Listen to this, because there are people watching you closely right now, not because you are weak, but because your growth has become undeniable, your presence has become noticeable, and your calm has become unsettling to those who once thought they had access to you, and this is why the universe whispered, "Stay quiet," not because you are losing, but because you are winning in ways that require secrecy and stillness. This message is for you, because someone connected to your past, someone who underestimated your strength, has been trying to provoke a reaction, trying to draw you back into old patterns, old conversations, old emotional loops. But your silence has cut the cord they relied on, and now they are forced to sit with the consequences of what they did. Listen to this, because silence is not absence, silence is power, and right now your power is growing every time you choose not to explain yourself, not to defend your truth, not to lower your vibration to meet misunderstanding. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe has been sending you signs confirming that staying quiet is not avoidance, it is obedience. And if you've been seeing repeating numbers like 444, 777, or 1111, those are confirmations that you are being spiritually protected while things rearrange behind the scenes. Listen to this, because while you remain silent, clarity is being delivered to those who doubted you, truth is surfacing without your effort, and doors are opening that only open when ego steps aside and faith takes the lead. And this season of silence is not forever, but it is necessary, because what is coming next requires clean energy, calm intention, and a heart that has learned how to respond instead of react. This message is for you, because your soulmate energy is also involved in this moment, even if you cannot see it yet, and the connection being prepared for you needs you grounded, unbothered, and emotionally mature, not reactive, not over-explaining, not chasing validation. Listen to this, because the person meant to meet you next will recognize your peace before they ever hear your story. And they will feel safe because you learned when to speak and when to stay silent, and that is why the universe asked you to keep your mouth completely shut, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Don't scroll, because there is movement happening right now that will soon become visible, and when it does, you will understand why silence was required, because what's being aligned is bigger than one conversation, one relationship, or one moment. It's a life shift, and the stillness you are practicing is anchoring you into it. Listen to this, because the urge you sometimes feel to explain, to clarify, to defend yourself is not intuition, it's old conditioning trying to pull you back, and every time you resist it, you strengthen your spiritual discipline, and the universe responds by removing obstacles you didn't even know were there. This message is for you, because someone is realizing too late that your silence was not indifference, it was strength, and they are feeling the absence of your words more deeply than they ever felt your presence. Listen to this, because when you stop speaking, truth starts speaking for you, patterns reveal themselves, masks fall away, and intentions become obvious without confrontation, and that is why the universe is handling this for you, quietly, efficiently, and perfectly timed. Your heart needs this right now, because the peace you are protecting is the foundation for what's coming next, and if you felt a sudden detachment from drama, from explaining yourself, from engaging in emotional tug-of-war, that's not you giving up, that's you leveling up. Listen to this, because soon you will be placed in a situation where your silence will be rewarded, not with applause, but with alignment, and the people who are meant to stay will lean in with respect, not demand explanations, and the people who are not will fade without conflict. This message is for you, because the universe is training you to trust your inner knowing more than external noise, and the moment you stopped talking, your intuition got louder, clearer, stronger, and that is not an accident. Don't scroll, because what you are doing right now is rare, powerful, and sacred, and although it may feel uncomfortable at times, it is creating a future where you are heard without shouting, valued without proving, and loved without begging. Listen to this, because the season of silence always comes before the season of elevation, and when you finally speak again, it will not be from pain or fear, but from clarity, authority, and peace, and that is when everything changes. Don't scroll, listen to this. This message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because what's unfolding in this moment is not random, not accidental, and not something you were meant to miss, and the reason the universe keeps pressing pause around you lately is because there is power in your silence right now, a sacred protection being wrapped around you while unseen forces rearrange the truth in your favor. And you may have felt an urge to speak, to explain yourself, to defend your heart, to clarify misunderstandings, but hear this clearly in a calm, steady way. Keeping your mouth completely shut right now is not weakness, it is wisdom, and the divine is asking you to trust what is happening behind the scenes, because while you've been quiet, energies have been shifting, conversations have been unfolding, and revelations have been landing where they needed to land without you lifting a finger. And don't scroll, because this part matters deeply. There are people who expected a reaction from you, who expected emotion, explanations, or even chaos, but what they encountered instead was your stillness, and that stillness has been louder than any words you could have spoken. It has unsettled those who misjudged you, it has exposed intentions that were hidden, and it has allowed truth to surface naturally without manipulation. And listen to this, your silence has activated a spiritual mirror, causing others to see themselves clearly for the first time. And not everyone is comfortable with that reflection, and this is why you may have noticed a shift in energy, a change in how people speak around you, a sudden awareness that things are being discussed without your presence. And that's not something to fear, it's something to recognize as alignment, because when God and the universe step in to handle matters on your behalf, they remove your need to explain, and your heart needs this right now because you've carried enough, you've overextended your voice in the past trying to be understood. And this season is different, this season is about being protected, not proven. And don't scroll, because the signs you've been seeing are confirmations of this shift, repeating numbers like 111 appearing when you choose peace, 444 showing up when you resist the urge to respond, 555 flashing when you feel the pull to walk away from unnecessary conversations. These are not coincidences. They are signals that something is being rearranged in your favor. And there is also a soulmate energy connected to this silence, someone who is watching you from a distance, someone who is learning from the way you move with grace instead of noise, someone whose heart is being awakened by your restraint and your strength, and while they may not speak yet, their awareness is growing, and your quiet is teaching them more than any confession ever could. And listen to this, the universe is filtering people right now, separating those who need drama to feel powerful from those who understand peace as strength. And by staying silent, you are stepping into a higher frequency that not everyone can follow, and this message is for you because you are not being ignored, you are being guarded, you are not being overlooked, you are being prepared, and your heart needs this right now because there are blessings forming that require privacy before manifestation, and the more you resist the urge to talk, the faster clarity arrives. And don't scroll because there is emotional revelation coming. There are truths that are surfacing without confrontation. There are realizations happening in rooms you are not in, and your name is being spoken with a different tone now, not because you argued your case, but because your energy stayed clean, and this is where karma works quietly, not loudly, and this is where divine justice moves gently but firmly. And listen to this, someone who doubted you is now questioning their own judgment, someone who misunderstood you is now replaying moments in their mind, and someone who underestimated you is now realizing that your silence was never emptiness, it was depth, and your heart needs this right now because you are learning that not everything deserves your voice, and not everyone deserves access to your thoughts. And this restraint is opening doors you didn't even know existed, and don't scroll because this next wave is important. The universe is asking you to observe, not react, to listen, not explain, to trust, not chase, and as you do, your intuition sharpens, your peace stabilizes, and your path clears. And there is a spiritual awakening happening within you that feels calm rather than chaotic, subtle rather than loud, and that is how you know it's real, and soulmate alignment responds to this kind of energy, not to desperation or overexposure, but to grounded presence. And listen to this, someone aligned with your future is noticing the way you protect your energy, they are drawn to your maturity, your restraint, your ability to let things unfold without forcing them, and this message is for you because you are being elevated to a level where your words become valuable currency, and the universe is teaching you discernment, not silence forever, but silence for now, and your heart needs this right now because this pause is not punishment, it is preparation, and don't scroll because what's coming next is clarity, not confusion. Peace, not panic, and confirmation, not doubt. And when the time comes for you to speak again, your words will land with precision, truth, and power. But until then, your stillness is doing the work for you, your calm is rewriting narratives, your restraint is closing doors that needed to close, and opening ones that were waiting for you to arrive quietly. And listen to this, you are not behind. You are right on time, and the universe is handling conversations you don't need to be part of, healing dynamics you don't need to fix, and revealing intentions you don't need to expose. And your heart needs this right now because you are safe, you are guided, and you are being moved towards something better without force. And don't scroll, stay present with this truth, because your silence is not the absence of power, it is the presence of divine alignment, and everything unfolding from this point forward will make sense in hindsight, and when it does, you'll understand why you were told to keep your mouth completely shut while the universe spoke on your behalf. Keep listening, don't scroll, because what's unfolding right now is not meant to scare you, it's meant to protect you, and your heart needs this right now more than you realize. Because the silence you've been sitting in hasn't been empty, it's been strategic, it's been divinely guided, and the reason you've felt that inner nudge to hold back, to observe instead of explain, to stay quiet instead of defending yourself, is because the universe has been rearranging things in your favor behind the scenes. Listen to this carefully, this message is for you. There are conversations happening that you were never meant to be part of, decisions being made that require your stillness, not your reaction, and when the universe tells you to keep your mouth shut, it's not punishment, it's protection, because there are people who would twist your words, drain your energy, or use your truth against you if you spoke too soon. And you don't need to announce what God is already handling. Your heart needs this right now, because you've been feeling the pressure to explain yourself, to clarify your intentions, to defend your character, but silence has been doing more work for you than words ever could. Don't scroll, listen to this. There is someone watching how you move in quiet seasons, someone measuring your strength not by what you say, but by what you don't say, and this person is beginning to realize that your restraint is power, not weakness, your calm is intimidating, not passive. And your silence has shifted the entire dynamic. Signs from the universe have been following you lately, repeating numbers like 444 showing up when you choose peace over proving, 111 when you resist the urge to react, 555 when a major change is quietly approaching. These aren't coincidences, they're confirmations, and listen closely. Soulmate energy is tied to this season of silence too, because the connection that's aligning with you next doesn't respond to chaos, it responds to maturity, emotional depth, and discernment, and by holding your tongue, you've been clearing space for someone who understands energy more than explanation, someone who doesn't need to be convinced of your worth because they feel it. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now, because there are people who underestimated you, hoping you'd expose yourself, hoping you'd slip, hoping you'd say too much. And your silence has frustrated them more than any argument ever could. They expected reaction, but you gave restraint. They expected emotion, but you gave clarity, and that's why things are shifting so rapidly now. The universe is stepping in where you stepped back, and what you don't say is becoming the loudest message in the room. Listen to this. There is a revelation coming, not because you spoke up, but because you didn't. Something is about to surface, something that doesn't require your involvement. Your silence is allowing truth to reveal itself naturally, and that's divine alignment at work. Your heart needs this right now, because you've been feeling the weight of holding things in, but this isn't suppression, it's wisdom, it's knowing that timing matters more than volume, and the universe is rewarding you for choosing peace over impulse. There is also someone emotionally connected to you who is struggling with your quiet, not because they don't care, but because your silence has made them reflect. They're replaying conversations, analyzing moments, realizing that your absence of words has forced them to confront their own, and this is awakening energy. Don't scroll, listen to this. When you stay silent, you're not disappearing, you're becoming unreachable to confusion, you're rising above manipulation, and you're aligning with clarity, and that's why the next phase of your life will feel calmer but more powerful, quieter but more fulfilling. Signs will continue to show up, songs hitting deeper, dreams feeling more vivid, numbers repeating at moments of inner confirmation, all pointing to the same truth. You're protected right now. Your mouth doesn't need to speak because the universe already is. Your heart needs this right now, because soon, very soon, someone will approach you with a different energy, more respect, more intention, more honesty, and they'll do it because your silence taught them who you really are, not someone who reacts, but someone who knows their worth, and when that moment comes, you'll understand why you were guided to say less and trust more. Don't scroll, keep listening, because what's coming next isn't loud, it's aligned, it isn't rushed, it's intentional, and it's arriving precisely because you chose stillness over noise, silence over proving, and faith over fear. There is a reason this moment feels heavier than usual, and don't scroll because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, even if you don't fully understand why yet, because the universe has been urging you into a season of sacred restraint, not silence born of fear, but silence born of wisdom, protection, and divine timing. And right now you are being wrapped in a kind of spiritual covering that only activates when something significant is moving behind the scenes. Listen to this carefully, because there are conversations happening without your presence, decisions forming without your input, and shifts aligning without your effort, and the most powerful thing you can do in this moment is exactly what your spirit has been nudging you to do all along: remain still, remain quiet, remain anchored, because every time you choose not to explain yourself, not to defend your heart, not to announce your plans, you are allowing the universe to work on your behalf in ways you could never orchestrate on your own. And don't scroll, because this message is not random, it's arriving now because you have been tempted to speak, tempted to vent, tempted to reveal what you know, what you feel, what you're planning, but the divine is asking you to trust the unseen process, to let your actions speak later instead of your words speaking now, and your heart needs this right now because silence is not weakness in this season. It is strategy, it is alignment, it is protection, and there are energies around you that do not deserve access to your truth, your next move, or your healing. Listen to this, because someone has been watching how you move, how you react, how you respond when things don't go your way, and they are waiting for you to slip, waiting for you to say too much, waiting for you to expose your hand, but the universe has already stepped in, guiding you to pull back, to speak less, to observe more, and in doing so, you are gaining the upper ground energetically, emotionally, and spiritually. Don't scroll, because what's unfolding now has soulmate-level significance, and whether you realize it or not, the way you handle this period of quiet is directly shaping the kind of love, loyalty, and emotional safety that is moving toward you, because the universe is watching how you honor yourself when no one is clapping, how you protect your peace when others try to pull you into chaos, and how you resist the urge to prove yourself to people who were never meant to understand you anyway. Listen to this, your heart needs it. There are angel numbers following you lately, 111 appearing when you decide not to respond, 222 showing up when you choose patience over reaction, 444 surrounding you when you feel protected even in silence, and these are not coincidences. They are confirmations that staying quiet right now is aligning you with something bigger than this moment, something that requires emotional maturity, spiritual discipline, and deep trust. And don't scroll, because the universe is also revealing that someone from your past or present is unsettled by your silence, your calm, your refusal to overshare, because they expected noise, they expected emotion, they expected explanation, and instead they received stillness, and that stillness is speaking louder than any words ever could. Listen to this carefully. Because your restraint is creating reflection in others, it's making them confront their own actions, their own words, their own intentions, and this is not about punishment, it's about balance, it's about karma unfolding naturally without you needing to intervene, and your heart needs this right now because you are not meant to carry every burden, fight every battle, or correct every misunderstanding. Some things are meant to be revealed on their own, some truths are meant to surface without your help. And the universe is saying trust that process, trust that what is meant to be seen will be seen, what is meant to be known will be known, and what is meant to leave will leave without you having to announce it. Don't scroll, because this quiet phase is also preparing you for a breakthrough, a moment where everything you held back from saying will suddenly make sense why it stayed unsaid, and there is someone energetically connected to you, a soulmate-level connection, who is watching how you handle pressure, silence, and uncertainty, and your ability to stay grounded, composed, and emotionally self-contained is drawing them closer, not pushing them away. Listen to this, your heart needs it, because real love is attracted to peace, not chaos, to confidence, not explanation, to energy that knows when to speak and when to remain still, and the universe is shaping you into someone who no longer needs validation through words, someone who trusts their worth without announcing it. And don't scroll, because there is also a spiritual awakening happening inside you. Subtle but powerful, where you are learning that not everyone deserves a response, not every thought needs a voice, and not every feeling needs to be shared publicly. Some things are sacred, some things are meant to be processed privately, and some things are meant to be handed over to the divine instead of dissected out loud. Listen to this carefully, because the silence you are holding now is creating space for clarity, for answers, for alignment, and soon, very soon, there will be a moment where the truth unfolds effortlessly, where the right person steps forward, where the right door opens, where the right message arrives without you having to chase it, and your heart needs this right now because the universe is reminding you that you are protected, guided, and supported even when you say nothing at all, and this season of quiet is not permanent, it's purposeful. It's preparing you for a moment where your presence alone will speak volumes, where your growth will be undeniable, and where everything that once tempted you to speak will no longer matter, because the results will speak for you. And don't scroll, because this is your confirmation. Staying quiet right now is not costing you anything, it is saving you from what you don't need and aligning you with what you do, and the universe is handling the rest. Listen closely and don't scroll, because this is the moment where the universe wraps its voice around your heart and speaks with clarity, calm, and authority, and this message is for you. Your heart needs this right now, because everything you've been feeling has been leading to this exact point, and the reason you've been guided this far is because silence has become your greatest protection and your most powerful weapon. And right now you are being divinely instructed to stay quiet, stay grounded, stay observant, because something sacred is unfolding behind the scenes that does not need your commentary, your explanation, or your defense, and the energy around you has shifted so strongly that even those who once overlooked you are now watching in stillness, sensing that something about you has changed, something about your presence feels heavier, calmer, more intentional, and they don't understand it. But the universe does, and listen to this because it matters. Your silence is not weakness, it is alignment, it is wisdom, it is spiritual authority, and every time you choose not to speak when provoked, not to explain when misunderstood, not to react when tested, you are stepping deeper into your divine assignment, and this message is for you because lately you felt the urge to pull back, to say less, to observe more, to protect your energy, and that instinct is not random, it is guidance. Because there are conversations happening about you that you were never meant to hear, plans forming that you were never meant to interrupt, realizations awakening in others that you were never meant to force, and the universe is saying keep your mouth completely shut, not out of fear, but out of trust, because what is meant for you is moving toward you without effort, without explanation, without resistance, and your stillness is speeding it up. Don't scroll, listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because there is someone connected to your soul who is watching you from a distance, noticing how you've grown quieter, stronger, more selective, and that silence is echoing loudly in their spirit, awakening regret, admiration, longing, and recognition, and while you remain calm, they are unraveling, because silence has a way of revealing truth faster than words ever could, and the signs you've been seeing are confirmation. Repeating numbers like 111 showing up when you choose restraint, 222 appearing when you choose peace, 444 surrounding you when you protect your boundaries. These are not coincidences, they are affirmations, reminders that you are being held, guided, protected, and elevated, and this message is for you because you've been tempted to explain yourself lately, to clear the air, to correct the narrative, but the universe is whispering no, not now, because what people believe about you in this season is filtering who deserves access to you in the next. And the ones who misunderstand you now would not know how to honor you later. So stay quiet, stay aligned, stay patient, because destiny is rearranging itself in your favor, and listen to this carefully. The more you speak, the more you dilute your power, but the more you listen, the more you hear divine instruction, and there is a soulmate level connection forming or reforming around you that requires your energy to be clean, calm, and undisturbed. Because this connection is not built on chaos or explanation, it is built on recognition, timing, and spiritual readiness. And your silence is preparing the space for it to arrive fully. Don't scroll, this message is for you, because there are people who tried to provoke a reaction from you and failed, and that failure is haunting them, because they expected emotion, justification, defense, but instead they got peace, and peace is unsettling to those who thrive on noise, and right now karma is working quietly, just like you, moving pieces, exposing intentions, correcting imbalances, and you do not need to announce it, explain it, or celebrate it, because the universe is doing it better than you ever could, and your role is to remain still, remain observant, remain obedient to your intuition, and the dreams you've been having lately are not random either, they are messages, previews, confirmations that something long delayed is now in motion, and your heart has already felt the shift even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. And listen to this, because this part matters, your silence is also protecting you from revealing your next move too early, because what's coming requires surprise, requires discretion, requires divine timing, and the people who doubted you are not meant to see the process, only the outcome, and the ones who truly love you will feel your growth without needing an explanation, they will recognize your evolution without being told, and this message is for you because you are entering a season where less is more. Fewer words, fewer explanations, fewer reactions, but more alignment, more peace, more clarity, and more reward, and the universe is asking you to trust the process even when it feels uncomfortable, to stay quiet, because what's being prepared for you is bigger than your current emotions, bigger than momentary validation, bigger than being understood by everyone. And listen to this, your heart needs this right now. The reason silence feels heavy is because it is powerful, and power always feels unfamiliar before it feels natural, and the people who are meant to walk with you into your next chapter are already being drawn toward you by your energy, not your words, by your presence, not your explanations, and they are noticing the calm confidence you carry now, the way you don't chase, don't argue, don't overshare, and that is magnetic, that is attractive, that is divine. And don't scroll, because the final confirmation is this: staying silent right now is not delaying your blessings. It is accelerating them, it is filtering distractions, exposing false intentions, strengthening real connections, and aligning you with exactly what you prayed for, and soon, very soon, you will look back at this season of quiet and realize it was the moment everything shifted, the moment you stopped explaining and started receiving, the moment you trusted the universe enough to stay silent and let destiny speak for you.